Okay, well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Thursday edition of the BBX University, and where we talk about all things BBX and NowSite and how we can help build our businesses using digital tools and different financial instruments that can reward not only the clients, but also the folks that present them. So let's go ahead and do that. Mike, you got anything that you want to talk about this morning? Start off with.
No, I'm going to turn it over to you and Mary and let y'all do your thing.
Okay, well, I'm going to turn it over to Mary, and Mary's just going to go over some of the news that's going on that will benefit us. Go ahead, Mary.
Okay, hold on a second. I was scrambling to find what I was going to show. But anyway, NowSite is doing an announcement this morning. I originally heard it was noon. It's been now moved back to 1 Eastern. So we will be on at 12, but I'm going to go ahead and I will hop off this call today to see if they're going to announce something sooner. So please be in tune to your email this afternoon. This is in regards to changes and things that are going to happen for July 1, which we all know is tomorrow. So I have that lined up for later this afternoon. As soon as we compile it, Steve and I may get together and do a short video, or I may record one and just tell you what's going on so you don't have to read it. I know we are all getting inundated with emails, and some we just want the highlights. So we will make the highlights available in bullet point format on the AI We Care team. It'll be on the front page. And then if I need to do a video with Steve, we can do one of those too, if our time allows today. But one of the things that we put on the newsletter for y'all last night was how to do a digital business card. How many people have a digital business card already? Show of hands. Nobody else yet. Am I missing anybody? Because I don't see everybody on the screen.
No, that's about it, Mary. Just a couple of us.
Okay. All right. Kathy has one.
Yes, she does.
And Kathy is the reason why I updated mine. Okay. So am I driving?
Yeah, let me just go ahead and flip the switch for you. You're good to go.
Okay. So I'm sorry, I did last to first. Hold on a second. I gotta find my digital business card. And of course, it's gonna be hidden from me because it was long ago. Oh, yeah, here it is. Let me show you the real one first so that you can see not how to make it, but see what it looks like on your phone. And if you want to do this on your phone, you can either do one of two things. Kathy and I were at an insurance event and she wanted to gain somebody else's information and she wanted them to have hers. And Kathy, if you want to come out and talk, you're more than welcome to. So what I did on the bottom of her digital business card, because we're all going to have our digital business card saved on our home screen of your Apple or your Android. Okay.
Telephone.
Telephone. Cell phone. Sorry. Thanks, Steve. All right. So when you pull it up on your phone, you can have the choice to just show the top. The top one gets to this landing page so they can easily get it on their phone. So they're going to take their phone out, take a picture or go to the photos. If they don't have a QR reader on their phone, which you don't have to, you can take it by your pictures. They're going to be able to pull this page up on their phone. What they do from there is they add to contacts. They're going to have your cell phone, your email, your texting number, your website, your Facebook, your LinkedIn, everything that you have for your contact that you want them to have is going to be right there, and it's going to add it to their phone. Now, because they have the page opened, they can go ahead and put their name, email, and cell phone in here and get more information. That way you can obtain that person's information by them putting it on the page. Whether it's your phone or their phone, doesn't matter. Now, because I also have multiple ways that people can shop with me, because remember, I'm a Walmart, okay? You need it, I find a resource for it, okay? So therefore, I have the shopping cart logo on there, okay? So that they can go to my store, whether they're looking for insurance, whether they're looking for marketing, whatever they're looking for, okay? That is my, okay, this is what I have my hands in. If I can help you, please let me know I can help you. You're always being a resource. You're always saying, what problem can I solve for you? In most of my customers' phones, I'm in under info, Mary Bird. Because if they have any questions about anything, what do I want them to do? Call me. Okay? So be a problem solver for your clients, not just say, hey, I sell insurance. That's so yesterday. They'll scatter. But if you say I solve problems, you can do that. And I have a poem, and I think I gave it to Charles about a year ago, about why I sell life insurance. And I'll make sure we put that on the life insurance page so people can understand that we do more than sell ice creams, vacations, dinners. Okay. So life insurance is more than just a policy. But anyway, I digress because I'm in the insurance field. All right. So how do you do this? You come in and you're going to name your page. Don't name it anything elaborate. You're not even going to have to remember it because it's going to be on your phone. Okay. So mine is just MEB DC digital card. Same as the website. You come in here to the pencil and you're going to drag the digital business card over here. Okay. And then you're going to fill in all of the information here. Now, see, I didn't put anything for Twitter, and Twitter disappears over here. Okay. You need to have all of, not your just logins, but when you log into Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, how does somebody else find you? Okay. So that's why if some of you have gone to ME Bird, it's not there because it's under my previous married name. Okay. Some of the other things that I've created since I've been a Bird for 6 years now will say Bird on them. Okay. But if I had it prior, it won't. Okay. So that's a heads up. And then the only other thing I did in this field was I added a cell phone number, because otherwise it's name and email and then submit.
Mary, show them how you added that line.
Okay. You come over here to text field, but I don't want a text field. Maybe I want another phone number, and I click add, and that phone appears here. Now I still need to and I know I'm in all caps, I'm sorry. Business phone. Okay, and you can require it or not require it. Okay, or another thing that you might want to do here is put in a text field, add it, come back up here to the text field, label. I don't want to capitalize it. So maybe you're doing different venues for different times and you're out. I mean, it doesn't mean to be at an event. You could be at the grocery store and somebody says, hey, I need your contact information. Okay, what can I help you with? That's going to go into your CRM. Okay. Now, when they click here, I have an email going back out that says, hi, I'm Mary. I'm glad we got the chance to meet. We'll be back together within 24 hours. If that doesn't suit, please pick up the phone and call me. Okay, so you're hitting them. Your contact is now in their phone, and you're also sending them a reply email when they filled out the email.
And the reason that happened was because the digital business card is essentially a website. So in NowSite, anytime that you create a website, it also creates a list. So when they download this information, it will go to MEBDC list. And then you can either remove it from that list or assign it to another list.
Mhm. But then you also have the contact that you didn't forget you met this morning at 10 versus the one you met at 2 o'clock this afternoon, because it also comes in on a timestamp. Okay. All right.
Now, Mary, let them know that you're going to let them know about the QR code as well. There it is. Yep.
That's where I'm going.
Yep.
All right. On our team's page, which is the AI We Care team.now.site, underneath tip section, here is the QR code generated to go to my business card because it's got my picture in it. But you can also click the button here to go to the generator. Okay. If you want to sign in, now I promise you, I've done 5 or 10 of these so far. I have not paid them a dime. This is free. They just want to know who you are and assign a password. If you want to put your picture in the middle of the QR code, if you want to use one of these that's generic and changing colors, because there's a whole bunch of different ones. If it comes here, use your own logos. You have to sign in. They just want to know who you are. Okay. But outside of that, if you want to get into the yellows or the oranges, all of these that don't have a logo in the middle of them are available for you to use. So what you're going to do is you're going to type in HTTPS AI We Care team.now.site. Okay, I'm going to make one for the team. Okay, and let's see, let's do this one. I'm going to log in. Sign in with Google. Maybe if perchance. Sorry, wasn't ready on this one. Oh, yes. Okay. Too many things going in my head. Oh. Yeah, it's not gonna let me do it. All right. I won't do an image. I'll do a generic code. So we're going to pick this one and I'll come back and fix it. You're going to come right up here to the download button. And we're going to call this AI We Care non-logo, because I want to come back and do it. I'm going to download it. It's going to save it here at the bottom. And then I'm going to come over here because I'm on my Apple and I'm going to add it to the photos. Okay. So I put that in the photos. I'm going to minus that. I'm going to come back over here to the team page. Whoops, I got to be in the editor. Save and exit. Now I'm going to go by name. I'm going to edit the team page. I'm going to go to the tip section. Whoops, can't do it that way. Go to the tip section. I'm going to draw in a large image. I'm going to add an image. I'm going to select a file. I'm going to go down to my photos. It's going to take it a minute. I'm sorry. It's still thinking. Anyway, I'm going to pull it out of my photos. I'm going to save it into the page editor here, edit my image, and land it on the landing page. Any questions from those next steps? Kathy, how was the response when you showed them the QR code?
They liked it. As you remember, when we were at the deal, they knew how it worked. I didn't. That's why I had to get you.
That's okay.
And you were able to ... See, here you go. And it worked well for them. I was the one that was in the dark, but fortunately, I had my Mary, and my Mary came to my rescue.
Okay, my photos are not loading right
One
now.
thing,
so-
one of the things that's really interesting about when you use the digital business card and you're at an event and somebody says, can I give you a business card? And I just go to them, I go, I don't have paper business cards anymore. I use a digital card. A lot of people are not really familiar with that. So when you tap the top of your phone and it takes and the QR code comes up and you tell them to take your phone out and scan it and get my information. They are so amazed that that even happens. The first thing they ask you is, well, how do I get one of these? And what that does for me is, well, you need to set up a demonstration for me on Now Site, and I can show you Now Site, and you can show you how you can have your own digital business card, along with a lot of other wonderful tools. So for me, it's a door opener. And I use it that way all the time. And then I'll come back a few minutes later because if their email's dinging on their phone, all of a sudden they go, when did you send this email? I said, as soon as you put your information in, it automatically generated an email to you. And they go, oh, wow, I got to have this. And then we just get together with them and we set them up on it and doing that. So with the QR code and everything else, I know with you guys, because we work with you guys every day. Some of this is a little over your head. That's why you got us. If you want a digital business card, just reach out to Mary and I, and we'll be more than happy to go on a Zoom with you and we'll build your digital business card for you.
Now, the one thing I will say is we need all the links first. If you write down all the links, if you're on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, if you make a list of your name as it appears so somebody else can find you on that, it will save about 10-20 minutes of that conversation.
Mary, maybe we should just do a pre-flight
A form
checklist.
fill?
Yeah, form fill. Have it send them out to them and you guys just fill it in before we get in the call. And then we can rock and roll.
That's what we need.
Okay, so we'll do that. Okay, so that's we want to go over that this morning. The other thing I wanted to go over is, and Charles, I want to thank you for your advice and work and tips on the Kaizen promotion. Thank you very much for the idea. The more I like it, the more I love the home run idea. And I've been working on that for a couple hours yesterday, and I think I've got it to where it's about ready to go. Mike, I've also got the ads done and they're ready to go. So we're getting ready to do our first geofencing campaign for Kaizen. So I know Gary and Frank and some others are interested in that as well. So we're gonna launch it on July 5th, but we're gonna let it run for about a couple of days, get it approved, make sure all the kinks are worked out before we move it back over into the BBX team section for us to go ahead and upload and put on your sites. So I wanted to give you an update on where we're at on that. Mike, thank you again for all your help as well on getting that done. Okay. Hopefully this will be the first model of many, many more other programs that are going to come out and do this. Okay. So next I wanted to show you was just that. So I'm going to share my screen with you a little bit here, and I'm going to go over something because Mary and I get a lot of questions on it, and it's actually extremely easy to do. So we're going to go over here and we're going to show you how to create an email campaign. So we're going to go over to the little megaphone here. And remember, this meeting is being recorded and you can go back into the BBX channel later on, probably on Saturday, It'll be up there for you guys. And if you want to review what Mary talked about or what I'm talking about this morning, it will be archived up there and you can go back and refer to it if you want to try it and learn it yourself. Okay. So we're going to go up here. We defaulted to websites. We're going to go to email. And then when you want to create an email campaign, you want to make sure that you hit add new. Now, I know this is, most of you guys already have this done, but every once in a while, like Mike and I found out last week, sometimes you have to go back and check and make sure your email address is active and it hasn't got knocked off the system and doing that. So you want to go back, which is over here to connections.
And you can
Down the
see
bottom.
that it's synced when on the email page.
Yeah. So it'll come up red if it isn't, by the way. But here in connections, right here, you want to make sure it's still synced right here. Okay, so we're going to go back up here to Megaphone. We're going to go back up here to email. We're going to go ahead and we're going to click on add a new email campaign. So the little black box comes up here. We're just going to have some fun this morning. So we're going to call it campaign a bunch of ones. Okay, so we're just going to come on.
You can't unless you've made that page.
Oh, that's right. So let me go ahead and pick a page. Pick Frank's page. Here we go. And then we're going to do pick an email account. We're going to pick my account here. So we're ready to get started. And it's going to pop up and it's going to say, okay, here's the template for building an email campaign. So up here, you got to, if you want to change it, you can change it here and rename it. You can have more than one email address on the site. So you can sync multiple email addresses because you may want to send from one account and you may want to receive at another account. And you can do that. And there's a reason for that because as Gary and I found out, you know, Gary was doing a lot of emails and all of a sudden his email account ran out of space. So we had to go ahead and create another email account to be the receiver, not the sender, to do that. So there's a couple reasons. So we can also do that. It's going to connect with lists here. And then also I can actually send this drip email campaign to any of my other lists as well. So you can have it going out on multiple lists. And by doing that, you would just add, you would click here, hit add, and now you got an additional list that's going to go out here. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to add a new email. So we want to save. There we go. And then you're going to build an email. So emails are pretty if you put an image on top. So you reach over here, as Mary and I refer to this, we call it the library or the file box over here. You're going to grab over here, you're going to grab the one that says large image right here. You click your left button down on your mouse, you hold it, you drag it across and drop it in there.
Let go.
What, Mary?
I said, and let go.
And
Drag
let-
it, put it in the box and then let go.
So then we can go over here and then we can go ahead and do an image search, or if you have something in your library or in your images, wherever you want to get that image you want. Today we're going to use library and we're just going to do something like, let's see what comes up with email. Search email. Well, there we go. There's kind of a cool picture there. Let's go ahead and edit that image by going down here and clicking the teal box after it's been highlighted. And I can actually, if I want to make this a little bit smaller, I can adjust the bottom, grab that tab and adjust it down. And then I can either save it to my images if I like it. I can also add text to it if I want by clicking this box. And I can put email in there like that. And I can change the size of the font size to make it larger. I can move the image around and place it where I'd like to. And if I like what I've written on there, I can say, okay. And then once it's up there and I like it, then I just go ahead and hit add. And now it's the top of my email. So I go, I like that. So we're going to keep that. So the next thing is you want to maybe put a headline in here. Put headline in here and drop it where it says section will be here. And I can put in there, email is annoying. Okay, so
Email?
yeah, I'm going to, there we go. Email is annoying. Okay, and I probably want to center that. So I'm going to go up here to alignment and spacing and click on it and put it in the middle. And instead of having it hanging out there in white space out in the middle of nowhere, I may want to change the background color to the color wheel and make it something complementary to the color up top. Let's go a little bit brighter than that. There you go. And let's say, okay, that's good. Then the next thing we want to do is we want to have our message, our email. So we're going to go over here to the large text block. Oh, one more time. Bring it over here, drop it in there. Oh, come on. There we go. And then you're going to click this edit text block up here. It's going to take you into word processing document. So you can just go ahead and, type whatever you want in here, your message. You can
Drag and drop and copied another message from someplace else.
Someplace else. You can actually put in hyperlinks here as well. So you can put a link to your website or maybe to your email account if somebody wants to just click on it. And you can put that in there. And, as you get more into this, again, if you want to learn, all you have to do is reach out to Mary and I. You have this video to refer to, but we'll help you take baby steps and walk you through everything till you feel you're comfortable. So I'm going to go ahead and cancel that. I'm going to go ahead and hit OK. So now I've got my message in that box. And then finally, I may want to embed a video or maybe an action button. Let's do that because you want them to convert. And you can actually have them go to your website right here. And you can put your website address in here. And when they click that button, it will go to that website. You can say maybe a headline on it, say, go to my website for more information or to contact us. And again, you can go up here in the style. You can go ahead and you can center it. You can go up here to button attributes. You can make the button bigger or even bigger. You can change the color of the button. You can basically do anything you want on here, and as well as, again, a section background, change the color. And we can do that. So as you can see, you can build an email campaign very simply. And we're going to go back here to content. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here and I'm going to save.
Nope, you can't. You need to
I
put a
know.
URL in the button.
I know that's what I'm going to go ahead and
Oh.
cancel this. But also I want to show here, it's not going to let me save this till I call this something. So I have to name this email something. So we're just going to call it email.
Something.
Yeah, and then the subject line is going to be something. And this is the first email, and we may want it to go out immediately when they go on the list. Or maybe I want it to go out a couple hours after, or maybe a day after, or maybe even a month later. as a reminder. You can set the spacing that you want. Let's do days and say we're going to send this a day later after they go into our CRM. And then we're going to go, okay, we're good. And then we're going to save. So we've successfully created the campaign now. And we've got our first email. So then we're going to go ahead and create a second email. And you just follow the same steps over again. And you just continue doing them. I recommend that you do at least 4, maybe 5 emails for a drip campaign. And then when it's finished, you may want to make a reminder to yourself again, maybe 2-3 weeks away, to restart it again and redo the drip again, depending on what you do, or you may want to change and you may want to modify it. Mary, anything else you'd like to say about that?
Yeah, I would. Do you see where it says footer setting over on the left-hand side?
Right here, yes.
Okay, you can click that and you see the privacy statements already down at the bottom, but you see where it says physical address powered by Now site? Nothing says you have to keep it powered by Now site. You could actually put your company name, phone number, and address right there as well.
Mhm.
Okay, so you can totally customize it. It's not like sending out a MailChimp email that's got MailChimp on it because it's a free account. You have this account, you can rename it down there if you wish. Okay, so just scroll up to the top on the left and you see where it says footer setting powered by Now site physical address. You can edit that information. When you do that, you're going to edit each and every one of the emails. It's not, it defaults back to powered by Now site.
Good tip, Mary. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and we're just going to go ahead and save here. But we're not going to get in here, so we're just going to go ahead and save and exit because we're not doing that.
You can't, you've got to go down to the bottom. There you go. Crypt the system.
Right. Okay, and as you can see now down here, we have a new email campaign called 1 to an Infinity right here. I'm not going to keep it, so I'm just going to go to these 3 little buttons down the bottom here. So when you're finished with an email campaign, you can click on there and you can rename it. You can actually share the campaign. You can duplicate it and you can actually delete it. So if we wanted to duplicate it, we just hit duplicate. It creates one over here and you can rename it and change the information as well there. So
And if you wanted to share it, you'd click on the share button. And anybody who is in Now site, you get their login email address. So such as mine is maryebird@att.net. And that would put it in the shared with me team section. And all I'd have to do is go in and edit it. But we've got some courses on the team section already. So refer to that video.
Yeah, it'll show you how to find share with me. So I'm going to go ahead and delete this one here. And it's gone. And I'm going to delete this one here and it's gone. So that's
And the other step is to delete the website.
Yeah. Because you have to go back over here. Well, here we go. Come here. Go to websites.
Do last.
Yeah, it's going to be the last one.
I know, but you can also sort it at the top, last to first. But you can't if you're on page 4.
Well, you know what I did? I attached it to.
Oh, you did.
So I'm not going to delete it.
Okay.
Okay, so we're good on that.
Steve, got a question for you if you got a second.
Yeah, absolutely, Mike.
Soto, your Allstate guy, has he done any email campaigns to his clients?
Oh, yeah, he's done probably about 60.
60 email campaigns. Cool.
Yeah, he's done probably just as many geofencing campaigns as well, Mike.
Okay, so Steve, let me, I want to walk through this because I'm not really clear with your Allstate guy. And you mentioned that he has these myriads of campaigns. Is he downloading leads or is he getting the leads from Now site? And then
Initially, before there was sales flow, he was buying leads. And then we would import them into Now site, into the CRM, and assign them to lists. Since the advent of sales flow, he has a full-time digital marketing coordinator who's part of their job every day is to get him 50 new prospects. Using,
Via Salesforce, he just select, he's
yep, he
got
clicks
his,
them. Yeah, he clicks them and he signs them to, it says, so when he's looking at when Salesflow brings in all the prospect information and puts it into his CRM, I've trained him to start reading all that information
okay,
and deciding, is that person, we may have searched him for life insurance, but after reading his interests, his skills, his age, what he's doing, he may be more suited for, say, an annuity. So then he would be assigned to the annuities list drip email campaign.
But you can put him on 2 or 3 different lists.
Yeah, absolutely. You might want to put him on life, annuity. You may want to put him on health insurance. I mean, as far as for you guys, that's what you would do. And then he would get on all 3 different email drip campaigns. Okay. And then depending where he came from, we also, those lists can be populated by when you attach them to a website and you geofence, and that geofencing campaign is assigned to that website. When they click and do a form fill, when they click on that ad, it takes them to the website. Every website we build has a form fill, how to contact us. So as they fill out that information, they contact you. It's also assigned to a list assigned to that website. And if there is an email drip campaign on that website, it will automatically activate it and start dripping an email campaign to them.
okay, let me ask about, not logistics, but the legal portion. If I say that I want to get emails from you because I did an update yesterday, and this is where my question is coming from. They had a myriad of different newsletters. I initially contacted them about one subject, but when I went to their preferences at the bottom of the email, I realized that they had others. When I opened it, there were like 10 other sections. And so then I could give my consent to getting information about other things. When you're setting it up and when you have the leads from wherever it is you're buying them from or from Now Site, I guess my question is, if they were interested in life insurance, and now you want to talk with them about annuities, and then you want to talk with them about health, and then you want to talk with them about other things, does that deviate logistically or legally? Or once I've given my consent, can you just talk to me about whatever it is that you want to talk?
The way consent works and the way you opt in, opt out, the way the law works, is if somebody clicks on the ad, it shows intent. If they go to the web page and they actually put in their information because they want to hear from you, every one of ours has the GDPR consent form. It says, I understand, you have to click the box. I understand that somebody is going to contact me from this company. That's an opt-in. Once you get the information form and say you don't want to talk to them anymore, when that email comes to you, then all you have to do is go to the bottom of the site and unsubscribe. And then you opt out. From the legal portion, the chain is all there. So it's all, you have to show intent. Same thing with an SMS text campaign. When you go ahead and click that link, that tiny URL or that link, hyperlink, that shows intent. It's going to take you to a website or a splash page or whatever. At that point, if you fill in and give us the information, then you're opting in. It's the same thing when you send out a social media post. They opt in by clicking that box saying, I understand that someone from this website company may. So it's the onus is like on us as individuals. We opt in or we opt out. Now, if the company does not unsubscribe you and continues to send you information, that's when it becomes an issue.
Okay, I just wanted to, I didn't really know
Mhm.
how that worked, and what you get is the horror stories of, well, I started this way and then I got all of this other stuff. I just
Yeah,
wanted to make
yeah,
sure that,
I had that happen with me with, what is it? I forget the name of the company, but I didn't realize that they own 12 other companies.
ah,
And all of a sudden I started getting emails from all these different companies that I had no interest in.
mhm,
And so I went to opt out on one, and they had done something smart. Do you want to opt out of this company
or that company.
or that company? And they, or all our companies, or this is becoming more and more prevalent. Are we sending you too many emails? I know you're interested. Would you like only to have this option? One a week, one a month, one every
Mhm.
2 months, whatever, 3 months, and you can change your opt-in, and then that'll stop the frequency. Because some of the stuff I was interested in, I just didn't want to get 2 emails a day from them
Mhm.
on doing stuff.
That's exactly what I was talking about. I didn't know how to phrase my question. But you got the gist and you answered the question. That's exactly what I wanted to know.
Well, I'm glad it could do that, Kathy, for you. Any other questions?
Steve, you and I talked about this, and I just kind of want to preview it for everybody else, because as we're making the list, you and I talked about the fact that I was not organized enough or didn't know how to do it.
Okay, yeah, can you,
Am I still talking?
Yep,
Okay.
go ahead.
Okay, when I made a list for Kaizen or annuities or whatever, and I put different people in different lists, and I said, okay, and I sent an email to them, I wasn't able technically to remember a week later to follow up. You said they were working on that. So is there any time frame that all of us can kind of look forward to, maybe of them putting in some kind of reminder that says, okay,
Yep,
you sent
that's,
to,
yep,
you
yep,
sent to James.
yep, that's happening next week, Mike.
Oh, it's happening next week.
Yep.
Can't happen sooner, huh? I
No,
guess.
can't happen sooner.
It's okay.
I
That's
think
good.
that's part of the announcements that they're going to make today.
Oh, cool.
Okay. And then the other thing I want to remind people is if you, again, if you're interested in being an affiliate and you actually have people underneath you, you should have gotten an email from NowSite that had a video. If you missed the video of the fund mandatory meeting, and there was also a link to a Google document. And that's where you put the 3 code words in. The 3 code words are up on AI We Care team.now.site, along with the links as well. So if you want to go there, you can just do it from that place. You don't have to go look through your email and stuff like that. It's already there for free. And again, if you need help, give Mary or I a call and we'll be more than happy to help you with it and get you done. Yeah, I got a call back from support on your issue, Mike. They got screwed up. They got you and Charles confused. So we'll get that fixed the next day or two. Okay, anything else, folks? Did you find this helpful? Is it
helpful
good?
and confusing?
Well, I was going to say, am I taking some of the confusion out of it, Frank?
Some of it, yes.
If we can whittle away at it a little bit at a time every
No
week.
problem. It's clear as mud. Clear as mud. Got it. Got it. No problem.
You left me at the first curve. I mean,
But I got to even say this. I mean, I was wondering about John for a while, but John's in with both feet now, man. He's getting it now. He understands it.
well, I'm glad you think so. I can fool some people some of the time. My question is, you've recorded a number of great videos, and I was sitting here like a textbook thinking, like when you start school, you do 101, 203, and so forth. If you were to take the recorded videos that you and Mary have done, is there any way you could put them in some order
hey Siri,
for somebody?
call via set internet.
Put them in order some way that you would say, hey, you want to really get into this, here's what you need to look at
Well,
first.
that's a good point. John, I think I'll go in this weekend to the video gallery on the resource page, and I'll go ahead and number them.
That would be helpful because I mean, like what we're getting to today, there's probably something that precedes that that would make today even clearer to us because we would understand 101 before we got to 403. if
Yeah,
that
I
makes-
mean, we, the one before this would be how to build a newsletter, which is very similar. And doing that.
But there's a lot of helpful information, and I'm one that has to see it and maybe chew on it 3 or 4 times before all of a sudden the lights go off and I go, duh, I finally got it. But
Okay, so I'm going to share a story with you. The first time I did my first email campaign, because like I said, there was no directions with this thing when I started. Mary wasn't even around. It took me 8 hours to figure out how to build an email campaign. It was like I was picking up rocks and trying to find out what was underneath each one of them. And and then finally I figured it out. And then once I learned it, it's easy. But one of the things that I reiterate with everyone is that what NowSite doesn't tell you is how, and a lot of you are seeing this now working with me, how everything is interconnected on the platform. When you do one thing, it affects something else. And that something else affects something else. So that's why you have to build it in a certain order. And that's why we start with a website, then we do the newsletter. And then after that, we do the email campaign, and then we do social media, and then geofencing in that order to get you set up. We make sure each one of those pieces is working correctly before we do the last thing.
and that's what I was talking about. What we do first to get to number 2 to number 3,
Yeah.
to get the geofencing and so forth.
I might want to do a new overview video just to take it through and say, okay, step 1 is this and why. Step 2 is this and why. Step 3 is this and why. Step 4 is this and why. And then, and then show you how to do that. That's an excellent suggestion, John. I'm going to follow up with that this weekend.
Yeah, good suggestion, John. One other thing, go ahead, Frank.
I said, that is great. That is real good.
The only other thing is, I might just mention, I know I sent out a bunch of emails and we only get about 25% of the people reading them, which is, I think, okay, but a lot of people don't. But the one thing I wanted to mention is the fact that, I don't know how to turn that phone off, but anyway.
That's okay, go ahead.
Sent out about a 19-minute video this week, and we certainly can send it out again, but the guy they have an FMO organization we work with, and he was talking about the new zeitgeist we're going through now, the next 2 to 3 years being probably a downturn with everything going every which way but loose. And he just said, whatever you're doing marketing wise, you probably need to change it. Well, I think all of you are probably like Lewis and Clark. You don't maybe see yourself that way, but I think you are. They went out unknown territory. They went all the way to the Pacific and came back, and people wrote books about them, and now they're legendary. Well, I'm not sure you'll be legendary, but you may make some money, because I do think that Soto, the gentleman Steve's been working with, and other people that Steve's been working with are doing things now way out in front of everybody else. I just don't think it's out there. I don't think people I would think hardly anybody knows about NowSite and the capability. So all I'm saying is, you people who are doing this, it may be tough sledding right now, but I think it's going to pay off, because the people out front, the early bird gets the worm. So all those little cliches are true. And I think you're going to be breaking new territory. So I applaud you for doing it. And I think we're going to all make some money.
And Mike, that was that. If you haven't read that email, I think you need to go back and read it, because I told Mike, as soon as I read it, I said, this is absolutely spot on. This is exactly what we need to do. And that's what we're doing, and that's making a difference. Okay, anyone else? Anything else this morning before we call it a day? Well, I just want to wish everybody a happy 4th of July and a safe weekend. And don't get too close to the fireworks. Don't eat too much barbecue. And if you're gonna be out, make sure you got plenty of sunscreen on.
Yep.
And if you're here with your grandkids like I'm gonna be, then enjoy them and have a wonderful time.
Amen. Thank you, Steve. Thank you, Mary.
Good
Yeah,
job,
thank you
guys.
guys.
everybody.
Have a great weekend.
Okay, take care now. We'll see y'all later.
All right, bye-bye.